Hi, I'm Rosie.
Yay, I'm back on YouTube.
Welcome to my channel. We're looking to what's going on intuitively in the world, from the political to the personal.
You can book personal readings on my website, rosieinsights.com. Rosie and Karina News Digest. Rosie Insights started about 7 years ago as Rosie Psychic Investigator, looking at news related to the Trump administration. Over the years, I have followed the practice of doing research about what's going on in the news, making that a core feature of my content. As of November 7th, 2024, I have had Karina as my daily guest slash partner for the series after the election. We are committed to working as a pair on this series at least until this election situation is resolved. Karina lives in Arizona, loves crystals, and is a certified aromatherapist. She is working on her website for private client healing appointments. We'll share her info once it's ready. Karina started as Rosie's, meaning my client, about 5 years ago, and then we became friends and started sharing the conversations we were having privately already. This channel is about looking at current news and events through an intuitive lens and sharing intuitive information. This content is for entertainment purposes only. Trust your intuition. This channel is just one source. Do your research, trust your intuition. You are the master of your own beliefs. What we won't do: conform. We do not conform with what other channels say necessarily. This is an independent channel, as is theirs. If you have a question about what you heard on another channel, ask that channel. On to today's episode. If you like this video, subscribe and press like. Thank you for watching.
So can you tell me who you are? George Washington. Showing me a cherry tree with the pink blossoms. I cut down the cherry tree. Oh, of course. Okay, what would you like to show me? He's showing me his wig with the curls. He has a little bit of a sense of humor. He says, "Look how silly they look now." Okay, what would you like to show me? President Joe Biden being sworn in. He's taking the oath. He's telling me how much that oath meant to President Joe Biden. He swore to protect the country. That's what he's doing. With every last bit he has, he's protecting this country. He feels the same way when he kneels down in church as he felt about being sworn in. He's telling me he was the man chosen for this moment in time. Wow, that's a powerful image. He's showing me all the past presidents' images all together in one photograph. And they're honoring President Joe Biden. He's in the forefront. He's the man that will carry out what their Hail Mary plan was to save democracy and to show the world that democracy is the way to go. We have to be the beacon of light that stands on the hill once again. Why are you sitting at that school desk? He has a sense of humor because now he just said, because they're about to get schooled. Thank you for bringing humor. I'm getting chills. So he did have at least to me, or at least now he has a sense of humor. Because I want to laugh. What else would you like to tell me? Oh, he's showing me the cherry tree again with the blossoms. And then he showed me Kamala's inauguration. Are you telling me it might be pushed back a little bit? It says, when do the blossoms hit? What else would you like to tell me? I'm seeing a Lincoln, Woodrow Wilson, Theodore Roosevelt, oh God, they're honoring Jimmy Carter. There's an eagle. There's an eagle there. Where? Oh, okay. The eagle represents all of them with, like, America. And they're honoring Jimmy Carter. They're showing me they're standing back because he's still adjusting and spending, and he's with Rosalind. So they're standing back, but they're honoring him. And he does know that. What else would you like to show me? George Washington comes in again. He really does have a sense of humor. And he's like telling me, well, we're a little too busy now. We're going to go back and continue to honor Jimmy. So thank you for talking to me. Thank you, Mr. Washington. And thank you for listening to the messages. Thank you for giving them to me.
This morning when I woke up, I was having a conversation with my Angelou. And it was actually a beautiful conversation. And she was we were sitting down almost like in a library setting or a school setting. It was educational, it felt, but a very soft, beautiful feeling as well. And she was looking at me and saying, it's amazing. You have found your purpose. You understand now what you're meant to be doing. It's the Great Awakening, and you were meant to lead people through this time. You were meant to help shine the light. You've experienced this your own self for the last 20 years. Why do you think you went through all that stuff? Everything you've been through mattered. It's for this moment in time. Everybody has had their purpose, and so many of you are awakening to this moment. And so now that you have, you're full steam ahead. This is what you need to do. Your purpose now is to help others move through this transitional time. Wow, that was so powerful. I just had to get that out of me. And I know that's kind of personal, but I hope that that may help others as well that may be feeling these feelings at this time, that you actually stepped into power. You don't feel powerless. You're actually feeling more powerful. So take that and run with it, she says. Oh my gosh, she's a beautiful, beautiful soul. Oh gosh, thank you so much. Patience, my child, like Ruth said, and bless you, child, she says. Thank you. So I have a part 2. By now you've probably heard the channeling that came through last night about 12:45 a.m. from George Washington. And at the end of that channeling, I had talked about seeing them all at an honoring for Jimmy Carter. And I saw an eagle. And all day long, actually last night as I was going to bed, I heard, "You didn't see me. You didn't see me." And I was, who didn't I see? And I heard, "You only saw the eagle. You were so fixated on the eagle that you didn't see me who was holding it." And so I said, who is holding it? Who are you? And he said, "I'm John Adams." And he said, I'm very adamant that you tell them that I was the one holding the eagle. It's very important for you to say that. So I went to bed with that. And today I got up, heard it again, and all day long he's been bugging me to make sure that I include in that video that he was the one holding the eagle. Very important for him. So I just had to get that out, or he will not let me focus on anything else. So thank you. And we're going to go ahead and pause the recording here.
One. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosie and Karina, psych investigators. Okay, so hello guys. Today is Thursday, January 9th. Let's
Hello.
do protection prayer,
Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, so I'd like
Yes.
to ask for protection. A beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources that create the good and only the good, and so it is. Okay, so let's start here with this news about Elon Musk. And so we know that Elon Musk is creating havoc over in the UK as well. He's interfering
Yeah.
technically, right, in their
Mm-hmm.
elections. So I'm going to share this. This is an article from the Mirror. Is usually a tabloid, but it stands. Okay, what they're
Yes.
saying here. Okay, so exclusive. Elon Musk tweets probed by UK counter-extremism unit as alarm raised over risk to Britain. Tech billionaire Elon Musk has been using his platform X to launch a barrage of attacks on the Labour government over the grooming gang scandal. So by the way, there is this, I don't know how true, it doesn't really necessarily matter. There's this thing where apparently Pakistani British gangs are targeting white women or something. This is like something they're pumping, and they're blaming the Labour government. By the way, the UK had a conservative government for almost, for at least, I don't know, 1 decade or 2 decades, for a really long time, and they caused all of these like so many
Mm-hmm.
problems. But now it's like they have to find some sort of like random, I don't call it random, but something to like blame the Labour government on.
Right.
And so this is it. So then he's interfering. He even said that there's Keir Sturmer, Keir, I forgot the second name. Anyway, but Starmer, his name is. He has to go, and this and that. So it's interference and it's threats and it's all kinds of things. So
Yeah.
by the way, one thing you guys may not know this, but Elon Musk was already in the past, in like last year, he was interfering with the of this. There was like, so there was this anti-immigrant marches in the UK, and there's somebody called something Robinson, I forgot his first name, but he went to jail over there because over there speech is not like the US. You could call people names and shit. And so this is a person that Elon Musk was really promoting. And so the question, I mean, it's a form of terrorism. I think this is not
Yeah.
radical to say, right? He's interfering in governments, he's doing other things. So, but the question here is, and by the way, pausing here before I ask the question, in parallel to that contextually, and I may or may not look into it today but it's related. It's that all these governments in Europe now, starting with Macron, I think he said it, that they're saying that he's interfering in elections. They're
Mm-hmm.
publicly saying it. So then you have this thing of the UK. But let's just ask about the UK because it's an isolated but very, very serious incident here. What is going to happen with in the UK? Are they going to do, first of all, is he going to succeed in making the changes he wants in the US, the UK government? And then what are they going to do to him? Because it's like he's a private citizen. Okay. What
Yeah.
the hell?
Yeah.
So, okay, so tell me what's going on. What is happening here? So I see what's interesting is this. I see it didn't tell me the final result, but it showed me this. That their logic now over there is this. Osama bin Laden belonged to a very famous, huge, wealthy family in Saudi Arabia.
Excuse me.
And so his money did not stop him from being a terrorist. it was one of the features of him being a terrorist. The same way, the same thing applies to Elon Musk. Just because he had a business that appears to be legitimate, it doesn't mean that he's not an extremist. So he shouldn't be like. There's no reason why the difference is that the followers of Osama bin Laden were kind of um fringe, and in
Yeah.
this he's influencing the mainstream. That's his power now. But I see that Keir Starmer is also saying that if he doesn't do something, it doesn't matter if it's popular or not, he's gonna go down. So this is in a way the antagonism personality of Elon Musk, in a way, is forcing people to do something, which is good. I think that
Right,
it's
right.
like they're being pushed against the wall, and they have to say, "Let me tell you who has power here, not you."
Yeah.
So okay, so this is the now this is
See,
like
that's what I picked up too, but I just got you got all the details. I got the words terrorists,
okay, but
and
let's
you
see.
just said one too that came through. That, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me re,
Can I just
rephrase.
finish, Karina? Just one
Oh,
second.
I'm sorry. I thought
It's
you
okay.
were. I'm
It's okay.
sorry.
Just because I want to. Okay. No, no, let's just see here. Just one thing. 1 second.
Okay, what I saw was I heard the word terrorism and sociopath. His behaviors with all these tweets, just like he did with King Charles, it's becoming like they're recognizing it as also sociopathic behavior and terror with along with the terrorism. So it's getting to the point where it's overwhelming and they have to do something about it.
All right. So now, because I think both of us, Karina, we got this whole kind of the overall vibe feeling. But then the next question is, what? Because will he be charged with something? What are they going to actually do something about it? About
Hmm.
him? And so what? Is the UK government going to do something about Elon Musk, meaning some sort of like consequences to him or not? So let's see. Will the UK
Okay.
government do something to?
Okay. Did you pick up something?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just got a very basic picture. He was in a very large courtroom that felt very international, and he was sitting as a defendant. But what I did see was every country's flag that he's messed with was in that courtroom.
Mm,
That's what I saw.
okay. Yeah, no, I saw and it's sort of hard to I don't quite honestly understand exactly what it means, but it was something like that he's like, what? What are you talking about? He just can't believe that it's something. And I think it's something where either they may have frozen his there was something like about freezing assets also of it's something also that some of it may be quiet, that there's just something where he has a saying he has crossed the line, and they may even share details about what their intelligence picked up about his connections to Russians and such. So it's something where they have to kind of humiliate him, show who he is, and say that they have the power to what you call it. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
uh, you understand, right?
Expose, yeah, they have to expose him
That's
too
what I'm
as
looking for.
as this as for exactly what he's doing.
Hmm. Hmm.
It has to be exposed
Hmm.
in a way that shows every detail of what this guy is trying to do.
Hmm. 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 So
That's why to me it feels international. Whatever happens to him
mhm,
feels very
mhm.
international.
Yeah, and I feel like also I got the sense that based on his face and his reaction, that he wasn't counting on it, and he thought that he could just
Oh yeah.
like there's so I think it's real consequences, and it's
Yeah,
saying that they decide to do something about him personally, not about his businesses, because thus far there's no proof that he has, right?
you're
So
right.
it's just something that they figure out a financial way to harm him, like to,
Yeah.
harm him, but like stop what he's doing because it's harming and everything. So so there's just it's a financial mostly for the for this financial, and I think he's barred from entering the UK. It's also possible that he may
Hmm.
because he is really interfering, and I see that it's like just because they're saying, we charged this other guy who was inciting people to violence. The same, why can't he be charged? So
Right.
so it's the same thing. Okay. And then we have to show our ability. Like what are we as governments if not capable? Right? Like you can't like
Exactly.
these people.
And I'm picking up, it's like I'm seeing like these governments against him, and they're saying we cannot let one person
Mm,
come after all of these countries' governments and not do anything,
mm-hmm.
because that's exactly what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. And it's saying
So,
right. And
how
it,
can one person do that?
and it's saying this that it's not just speech. There's actions related to the things you were saying, and it has to do with this with like the whole it's also the other guy that he helped the other one who was charged with this.
Right.
So they're debating, and also Keir Starmer is a former like a prosecutor over there in the UK, so he knows a lot. He's sort of like Kamala's equivalent, I think, in a way.
Hmm.
So 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 it's really like messed up. So I think yes, they're going to do something serious, and he's going to get with it. He's going to not be able to. I feel like it will stop him in a way, at least as far as UK is concerned. So that is that, right, Karina? This part?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's pause here and then move to the next subject. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay. So this is a really difficult topic because of everything that's going on. It's really devastating to watch the horror that's going on in LA.
Hmm.
And I have a friend who had to be evacuated. And it doesn't even mean anymore. It's not, you don't have to be in Malibu or Pacific Palisades to be like even in the less expen like a little bit less expensive neighborhoods, it happens. So this is very messed up what's going on. And I saw some threads on Twitter that were saying I don't know anything about arson technically, but they were saying that the fires just started so quickly. And it was just like these images, and they could tell that the pattern of it was off. And so it just seems like so big. Granted, the weather, right, contributes to
Hmm.
because of the winds, but I don't. And I remember years ago when I did something also about another fire in California. I did see that it was people that were doing it on purpose. And
Hmm.
I think we're living also in an era of so much sabotage that who is to say those people could be offered like $1,000 to just go put fire somewhere? Okay,
Hmm.
so let's see here. So this person, granted, I have warned you, it is the New York Post, which is a right-wing newspaper. Andrew Huberman is this guy who's a neuroscientist. He's a, I don't know if he's a professor at Stanford anymore, but he's really well known. There was a scandal related to him recently about he has all these girlfriends. It's not a crime, right, or anything, but I don't have a feeling about him either way. But so I played this video for Karina. She and I watched it, and I got the overwhelming feeling it's legit. He's not lying. He's not making it up. Again, so I'm just
Hmm.
gonna play this for you. Again, he doesn't. Okay, so
We're at 302 Pico, and people are lighting fires now. You can see they lit a fire. These guys, not all the people there, but some of those guys lit that fire. And these guys are there actually, the trees caught fire, and then the palms are catching fire. So civilians are now lighting fires um, down in the so-called, flats around Santa Monica, Venice. So be, be safe out there. Fire department's been dispatched. We don't have enough water to put this thing out. Uh, but supposedly on the way.
okay, so okay, so that was that part.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guys, I send the energy to everyone. It's absolutely horrific the
Yeah.
situation. I have no words. But to
Mhm.
think that, and I think again, the area that, and I don't want to look at like, okay, I was going to, let me pause here. It's not the point to like go look at all the detail, all the data that they have about where it started. It's like I don't, since I don't really know much about, you don't know about it either. I can like how the patterns of fires. It's another point. It does look strange, right? I think the and I was saying to Karina, like there's all this stuff happening. I was actually talking to somebody else earlier, like all this stuff happening in the world. Yes, climate change is unpredictable, is helping spread these fires, but it's almost like ever since this whole election debacle, right?
Yes.
The stealing, whatever that is, there's so much disinformation. I think this is another extreme event pushed by them. And that's just my feeling about it. And
Hmm.
I just don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think, and especially California, right? They hate California.
Right.
It's their favorite
Right.
talking point. And they are attacking the mayor, who's African American. And like the whole thing, it's just like, anyway, so what
Yeah.
is, so the questions we have here, kind of like, first, are these fires arson? And then are they going to be caught? And I
Okay.
kept thinking earlier today, Corinna, thinking like they have to be charged with terrorism if that is true. Because it's like, how can you get away with this? Like this is almost like, it's the kind of thing that it makes me be more quote unquote conservative in some ways because it's not a time to do something. You
Yeah.
have to be radical with these people, okay?
Right.
It's not okay to like just like do this and get away with it. Like you have to treat
No,
it like a terrorist attack because that's what it is.
it is. It is.
So, all right, so let's ask. So, okay, so tell me, is it true or could it be? Is it? No. Oh, yeah, I see. Oh my God.
Hmm.
Yeah, I see the people with the, even wearing like a fabric around
Yeah.
their face with a gallon of like gas or something
That's
and
exactly what I.
putting something like and going inside like in not a mountain, but somewhere like dry that they were told this is, and I saw that they had the exact coordinates that they would have to go there. And there's women, there's men, there's like so it's done and it's like we do it then and then it's like and it happens, it spreads. And they did it and I see somebody with maps like we're going to do this and we're going to do that and you're going to here. Okay, and I am seeing that there's some help with the country. I'm sorry to say I feel like it's that
Just go ahead and say it.
the country like in country.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying though because I see that I see that unit GRU unit whatever sabotage unit the 29 something.
Yeah.
They were like, it's kind of like it's a war. It's an act of war on from. I'm like, come on. I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
exasperated. I can't believe that yet again, just arrest every single motherfucker.
Get them out. Just get it
I'm
done.
done because, and I'm not saying it's like I think they had the coordinates and then they found people on the ground to do it. Americans probably, but the people that it's sophisticated. I feel like they knew the date and they knew how it was going to be talked about. They knew how to control the narrative. And to say, oh, look at those the blue cities are out of control. There's not this, there's no that. And I think they have, how there's a lot of people say, oh, Hollywood is collapsing. I think and I get once I say this, the celebrities were targeted because
Yeah.
they want to show, oh, saying Russians hate that America is very like, the culture part of it. So
Hmm.
destroy
Hmm.
Hollywood. Like I'm sorry to say this. This is kind of what I think. Like essentially the content creation of like the pop culture, all of it. That's what celebrities are in some ways, right? And
Hmm.
and their movies or whatever. And like I think it's like humiliating celebrities and showing them losing everything. That they are in mercy or are like you don't and I get goosebumps as I say so we can't. That's what I'm getting, Karina. That there's and so
Yeah.
that's it. And I see so America I see it's funny, I see women, how interesting hipsters women like being arrested also
Hmm.
is there and I see so how
Yeah.
I see there's also what you call it not somebody tips the police about this
Hmm. Hmm.
and then they go find the people and so they are charged with terrorism and I see that their Homeland Security some sort of act like charge them with the as if the way they hold a certain Guantanamo type people. That's what has to happen. This is
Hmm.
like again, it's because you let the domestic terrorism, and it's like, remember the LA? I wasn't here. I wasn't around in the time of the LA riots, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like I'm sorry I don't want to make it about like a race issue or whatever, but I feel like the people who did it were like these white people, like disaffected people that could be influenced to do this. And imagine if like you know what I mean? Like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, you'd be like, but this is like you have to start treating it like what it is. These
Yeah.
people are terrorists, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
treat them and put them in the whatever hardcore federal jail, whatever the F,
Right.
because that's what I pick up. And it's yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
see, oh, and it's saying that the video by Huberman may even be used as evidence in one of the
Mm-hmm.
because when you look at the video, Corinna, isn't that weird? Like, okay, imagine like how horrific the situation in LA is. My friend said she had to go to Palm Springs because of this, right? It's a mess.
Right.
It's scary as hell. You're out there,
Mm-hmm.
there's a fire, you're watching it. Like that's weird, right? When you think about it. And
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
constantly, if you're around, they're like, "Oh my God, there's a fire! Oh my God, like this!" They're like, "Oh, hmm. Watch." Did you notice like
Mm-hmm.
weird that
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
like hovering over it, over things? And I think it's also that they did it in this like because I know happen to know that like Venice and what was the other neighborhood, Santa Monica,
Pacific
expensive.
Pacific Palisades.
Yeah, no, because Santa Monica, Venice nowadays to live, it's very expensive to live there now. Even if Venice
Yeah.
used to, yes, but it is. So
Malibu.
it's like they're massing all the neighborhoods. It's kind of like they're using the people that are being influenced. They're using the quote unquote class issue to tell them to do this.
Right.
So so that's what I picked up that it wasn't necessarily even it doesn't have to be Trump people. It can be people that are on the radical whichever side. In this case, I do think it's like I said, a hipster to me is more like far. It could be far. I'm not. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not that
true.
it's
Yeah.
I this not this is the thing. I didn't see that it was necessarily like it almost at this point it doesn't really matter like what they believe in. But the point is that they're good at radicalized people that are radicalized. Some of them are can be radicalized in the left also. And that's the thing about the class. That's what I meant. Does it make sense? Like yes, they don't
Yes.
see the people that ultimately is about Musk's agenda in the end, right? But does it make sense is that it's a
Mm-hmm.
this is because they're detached from reality. Okay,
Completely.
so that's wow.
Yeah.
So,
Completely
so
detached
and
from.
then I see okay, then I saw it was interesting. I saw Biden being updated on this, and then emerged. It's like again this whole thing of the Guantanamo type people being arrested in those circumstances, and then I see again another reason why Biden would go for a state of emergency of some sort because we're under attack as a country, right? Like, you know what I mean? That we're under
Yeah.
attack. And so, and I feel like the same way that they're using, like, let's say, like foreign ships to do the cable cutting and not Russian ships, they're using locals to,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? That's what I think. But ultimately, the psychological operation is being done, I do think, coordinated
Yeah.
by, okay, the other, I think
Exactly.
there's a finger there. That's my sense.
A big
Uh,
finger.
Yeah, so, but I think, so is it, no, this is just like, we're just thinking about the roots. Let's look into if will they be stopped and soon? I mean, let's ask what's going on. Pray for rain and say, the saying,
Yeah.
wow.
I don't see it stopping quite too soon, sadly to say.
Mm, wow. I'm just like, I can't believe it right now. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. I just feel horror. It's sad to say that.
What do you mean? Tell me more.
I'm probably feeling what the people are feeling because I pick up those emotions. But I'm just feeling horror. But I don't feel like it's quite going to end in the next couple days. I feel like
Mm.
it's a continuous horror for a little while.
And so I asked just now about my friend because she's now in Palm Springs. And I asked, how long is she going to be there for? And it said 2 weeks. So
Yeah,
2 weeks because her daughter's in school also. So I'm thinking it has to do with how long it will take for everything to go back, right? To return.
yeah.
And I
Hmm.
see this as an economic act of terror against the state of California. That's what it is. They want to destroy the wealth of California. They want to destroy everything that California has been about.
Yeah,
So,
that makes some of the most sense.
so wow. So that's it. Pray for all the people. And I see it's a situation that's gonna bring people back together and it's just horrifying. And it's saying that it will show also, when they say, "Oh, what about the MAGA people when they find out Trump and this that?" This is one of the situations that when they find out what is the root of it, right? They will be like, "Wow." No, no, I don't think it's beyond political party at this point, right? It's just horrific. I don't, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
So, because it's how could they do that? It's like, wow. So,
Yeah.
wow. So that,
Beyond political party is exactly it. It's
so
doesn't matter at this point. It's just, we got to separate good and evil. Good
wow. Okay.
Lord.
So, wow. Okay. So is it no? I see that they're putting volume 11 until the whole election, and even there's some of their tactics that they want to use, even if they were to be in the government, which I think it may not happen. But I feel like as we saw, right?
Hmm.
It's like unbelievable the amount of evil that they are capable of and they're willing to. It's just so I have a question. So now let's ask here, God. Um, I mean, what's going on, God? Can this why I don't know why is the question. What is going on? Like all this chaos. How is it going to be stopped? How is this chaos of the fires and everything being stopped? Shut the or say that it shows me the Trump as the devil and like close the door on the devil. That's it. Yeah, it's like this is what they do.
Hmm.
It's the
Because
devil.
we're all talking about this now.
Exactly. So you have to like, let's say, put on the big white pants and do something about it. That's what has
Hmm.
to happen. And then it's saying once you stop it, it goes away. Oh,
Cut
because
the
it's saying once, and it was almost the plan. Like once they could say, "Oh, Trump won, has a majority," then he takes again the talking points. He owns the talking points again, and the same crap up and down, up and the stress level, Karina. Like remembering all the people that like the stuff
Yeah,
every single day. Remember with the Trump presidency? Oh, he's gonna do this. Oh my God! But it's like there was no peace, and
none.
that's that. And so I think it's like so. Okay, is
I
Biden?
think that's the hard part right now is we feel like there's been no break, no peace, no movement forward. Everybody's kind of just in this, I'm so exhausted, I can't take any more phase.
Mm-hmm,
That's where we have to put on our big boy pants and go. We
mm-hmm,
got a little longer to go, people.
mm-hmm,
We just
mm-hmm.
got to stay strong and get through it. It's
Yeah, and I
hard.
see it's the only thing I see here, and then we'll maybe move on to the next topic if we have a next topic because it's so intense, right? This whole thing.
Yeah.
But what I see here is actually Biden declaring a state of emergency connected to this also, and then extending. Then that's the thing. Remember the delays, the idea of this things
Hmm.
are going to be delayed. That's what I think could happen. Also, I'm not saying that doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. There's something about this, the fire situation compounding with the country being under attack. And
Right.
then just saying it. We have to just say it. Just say it. Because that's right. So because
Hmm.
that's and a lot of people have said that this is their plan. Like once they are in power, they want to create chaos so that they take over every, the police or whatever, and they can like attack their enemies or whatever, right? Arrest people and stuff like that. But does it make sense? It's just like,
Yeah.
oh,
Diabolical.
mm-hmm. So, okay.
Wow. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Interesting, right? Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna have to really sage off that energy.
that's right. So,
That was just really yucky energy.
so it's saying, okay, so it's saying better use of the best use of the energy is to just project the energy
Mm.
of people being caught, of truth coming out, and then justice happening now. Put the energy on justice happening now.
Hmm.
Not, beyond this stage where somebody could be indicted, just arrest people and get them out of because if those people are not removed, then
Yeah.
I their intent is very clear. So,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So,
I hear the screaming in my head going, "Stop the madness! Stop the
mhm, mhm,
madness!" Like we
mhm,
have to just stop the madness now.
mhm.
It's getting out of hand at this point.
So I'm getting also something that it's interesting that I got or years ago, I guess, but I remember seeing that once we would have a time when remember this out the 60s when there was 1969 and things got dark and then became the 70s and it was sort of like a darker like darkening. And it
Hmm.
showed me that it would be like we'll get to a sort of like a 1969 moment, but go backwards towards the when it was a lighter hippie kind of movement. So it shows me this, and it's showing me again. This is the dark. Remember, there was like the when was it the Hells Angels killed somebody in the Rolling Stones concert? It was considered like when you see these
Yeah.
60 documentaries, one of the really dark events of
Hmm.
it, and the Kent universe. They're right, the shooting of a student or something like that. So
Hmm. Hmm.
so it's saying then it darkened, but it's saying this is the moment when things are really, really, really dark and the light comes. It is inverted. It goes backwards in a good way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. To me, it
The
does.
energy. Like that's what I feel like. I don't feel like it's like they pushed it. It's like to the darkest. And now
Right.
I feel like it will come back to
Being
the
pulled back. Yes.
that's what I feel like. I don't so let me just ask, so spirit, is the darkness going to take over? And is this the beginning of the darkness or is this the end of the darkness in public life? Are they gonna know it's seen they're doing it? And I see even the arson is in itself like a hellish kind of
Hmm.
action, right? And they want to take that's like imagine they want to create hell. That's their goal. But
Hmm.
no, it's not going to work. They will not succeed, is what I'm
Hmm.
getting. And then it's like the light comes and eventually overtakes them all.
Right.
This is their fight. Yes, they're
Yep.
fighting to take this is they feel like it's the one chance to and I see it's so sad to create total darkness in the world. That's what they want.
Hmm.
And like, wow.
It's true. It is very true. That is what they want. But it's funny, I always get this split screen of the dark energy and the light energy.
Mm,
And as you were saying all that, the dark energy was trying to enter the light side.
mm,
And it was like, the light was going, get the hell out, get the, it was shoving it out. No way, get out, get out, get out. You've entered a time where you can't exist.
mm, mm-hmm,
So even if they tried to get in and they did get in for a little bit, their energy can't exist in this
mm-hmm,
new light. So
mm-hmm.
that's what I did see. So,
That's great.
there might be some stragglers that stay around, but over time, they're just not, it, the time period's not conducive for them anymore.
Mm,
The vibration, the energy, whatever you want to call it, the frequency, it's not conducive to them anymore.
mm, mm. Wow, wow. So
Yeah.
wow. So that's it. That's it, Granny, right?
That was pretty heavy.
Staying interesting times. So I'm glad you
Yeah.
had your, not your interesting visions earlier today because it is dark, right? It's
Right.
like very dark.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
stay safe, stay self-care, stay safe, burn candles, pray, and it
Yes.
comes through. It's saying it's gonna end. It's saying don't
Mm-hmm.
worry, it's going to end. They're not gonna make it. That's what I'm getting. That it's not gonna be longer. No, that much longer, I guess.
Mm-mm.
But isn't that crazy? Wow.
Yeah. But I am getting this little bit of a message to tell people too. You know, Rosie and I work really hard to protect ourselves as well because we know we're in the thick of this energy. But it's telling me to tell people in their own lives to do that as well because it is affecting everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You are not safe from it in a sense. So do everything that you would do and can do, whether that's however it affects you in your own life and you like to practice,
Mm-hmm.
do those practices, whether it's cleansing with a sage stick, whether it's baths, whether it's showers, Epsom salts, you
Mm-hmm.
know, crystals, grounding, praying, meditating. They're telling me all of these things right now, even exercising, walking in nature, putting your feet in the river. All of these things right now are so
Mm-hmm.
beneficial to mankind.
Mm-hmm.
So do them. And as you're doing them, it's telling me spread that energy. If you've ever seen a frog sit in a pond and sing, that vibration just goes out. That's what it's showing me, that frog in the
Mm-hmm.
pond and that ripple effect.
Mm-hmm.
So picture yourself as that frog, sending out that ripple effect,
Mm-hmm.
helping everybody.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Wow. So that's it, right? That's it, Karina,
Yes.
for today. I know I just feel like that even though I'm sure there's other topics we could have talked about, but it's so intense that I think we have to kind of stop here to let people process.
Yeah. And
And
that's
then,
such a heavy topic today about all that.
yeah,
So just send them
but
light and love.
yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. All right, Connie?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep. Bye.
So have a good night, y'all, and I'll talk tomorrow. Okay? Okay. Bye. So I had finished the video got here with Karina, and I just saw it clicked quickly on this X thing, and here is this. So I saw this immediately. The first thing I saw, I wanted to share with you because it's exactly what it summarized very well what's in here. So I assess the United States is currently being attacked with coordinated acts of sabotage by domestic-based actors using foreign resourcing. Outcomes are intended to appear organic, accidental, random. Main goal is to increase support for the incoming administration's policies. So again, I'm glad that we're not alone here in picking this up.
You
So
hear Toby barking?
yeah, so all right. Okay.
Yes.
So that's it, guys. All right, so have a good one, have a good night, and talk to you soon.